Welcome to the June 22nd Zoom meeting for the 8-week transformation. We've got the Empower Transformation with Anytime Fitness. There's Sarah coming on board. Hi, Sarah. Enjoying the outdoors. So I'm going to go over the topics that we're going to talk about today. I put it on the email blast. If you're not receiving the emails, thank you for being on the Zoom. Thank you for watching these videos. Then communicate with your club manager so we can ensure that you are getting these emails. So topics today. We've got Texas coming in with Alex. Hi, Alex. How are so many dropping so many inches so quickly? I love seeing and hearing the testimonies. So those of you guys that are sharing, thank you for sharing. It's feedback to me on how you're able to affect and create your transformation with what's been laid out in front of you. Gut health. So we get to talk a little bit about gut health. Anti-inflammatory foods, what it means and how it affects our body. What are my options on the custom menu? Can I change it up? So I do see on the Facebook page a couple of questions being asked, so that's fantastic. And then the mindset coaching for today is I can't and I don't. We're celebrating the wins. So I'm going to go into the dropping so many inches quickly. Olivia, after the PowerPoint, I'll open it up for the questions. So by wave of hands, since you guys are on mute, let's see, we're 2 weeks in. An excellent program would be if it's a weight loss. When it's a muscle gain, that's a different story. So those of us watching this that are in the muscle gain, the line of change is a little bit different. But anybody that's on here weight loss wise, if we were to drop anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds in just 2 weeks, that's a massive, phenomenal win. From those on here, just wave. Has anybody lost 1 pound in these first 2 weeks? Just wave your hands. Let's go like this. Okay, we got a few people. 2 pounds. I see Chad's clapping. 2 pounds. Go like, there we go. Thank you, Alex. Watch your road. 3 pounds. 3 pounds or more. In 2 weeks, 4 pounds. So right now we're more than double the national average. 5 pounds in 2 weeks. Holy cow, still going. 6 pounds in 2 weeks. 7 pounds in 2 weeks. I feel like you guys are.
Esteban, I actually have lost 7.
You have lost 7?
Yep.
Dang. 8 pounds in 2 weeks. So still going. Holy cow. You guys look like that little princess doing the wave in the parade. 9 pounds in 2 weeks. So we still have a waiver. Holy cow. 10 is like, I feel like I'm doing one of these auction things. So anybody drop more than 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks? So I know I came across a few individuals in the clubs that dropped between 10 and 14 pounds in the first 10 days. So it's like, how the heck does that happen? So a lot of us come to the understanding that we've got muscle and we've got fat. In all reality, there's a lot more to that with the human body. The analogy that I always like to go to is if I were to put my arm out and I have, what is those, killer hornets or something like that, whatever. I watched Tiger King. I didn't watch the hornet thing. If I were to get the wasps, bees, whatever on my arm, it's going to swell up. I don't want to walk around with my arm swelling, just like I don't want to walk around with my belly swelling. So if I were to remove the poison, the swelling goes down. Ta-da. So that's where we're talking about gut health. Are we losing fat? Absolutely. Are we losing inflammation? Absolutely. Are we losing toxins? Poop also? Absolutely. Cool. So that's a lot of what we're noticing in the beginning, especially in the custom meal plan. That's an anti-inflammatory, high antioxidants, high energy. We're seeing that the inches drop really quick. Our energy's boosting up. The weight's dropping. And that's a lot of what we're seeing. It's not just muscle and fat. So it's like, holy cow, how can it happen? Once inflammation goes down on my arm that was full of poison, then that's when we start seeing it slow down. So we're able to, I think a couple of you guys said 10 pounds here in 14 days. We're able to see pretty much 3 to 4 months worth of progress in 2 weeks. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's phenomenal. We get to keep that going. So going with the gut health, I'm going to go into gut health and anti-inflammatory foods. I'm going to share my screen, and here's where you guys get to ask questions. And I am recording this, so the next email, you'll be able to go through this. Here we go, share screen. Go into a little cool PowerPoint. Ta-da! I didn't do this picture on purpose, but for whatever reason, I still had the cabbage in there. Awesome. So a lot of times it's like, okay, how many calories, how many calories, how many calories, which is a phenomenal foundation. This is where we're using the .fit portal. We get to identify how much energy I'm expending and how much energy I'm taking in. And we get to go beyond that. We get to identify foods that are giving us tons of energy and healing us. And we also get to identify foods that are not the best for us, meaning that we have adverse reactions. So I'm going to get into that. When I consume a food, it goes from the stomach to the small intestine, and there's a little part of my intestine called the villi, little finger-like substances that are inside the small intestines. That's where I absorb my nutrients. So there's finger-like substances and even smaller finger-like substances inside that get to absorb the nutrients. When I consume certain foods, I'm going to have an inflammatory effect. For me, I've shared it with you guys. When I eat pasta, I'm 3 to 4 months pregnant that same night. I'm not really pregnant, in case anybody's really wondering. My belly looks like I have a baby inside of it. Ta-da. We call it food babies. That's it. So my intestines are swelling up because there's an allergic reaction going on to the foods that I gave it. Moving on, there's a lining in the gut that is held together with a protein called zonulin. That's one of the main things that does it. And there's certain foods that we consume on a regular basis that weaken the structure, the lining structure of that. So when the lining structure gets weakened and it opens up, we'll see in here that we have, it crosses the blood-brain barrier. We get toxins are going in there. We've got food particles that go in there, and that causes widespread inflammation. This is to where we'll sometimes be where our hands are puffy. For me, my face gets puffy. Not only is it the allergies from outside, the allergies from food, and we can even see it in kids nowadays. Kids nowadays walk around like if somebody injected them with a helium tank and they're just pumping air into them. We've got that as adults as well. So from my hands, my face, my arms, my midline section, we're walking around inflamed, and a lot of it has to do with the leaky gut. So what causes that zonulin protein strand to get weak to where we literally create a crack in the lining of the intestines that leaks into the bloodstream, and again, it goes to widespread inflammation. I've got it here in the left. Studies, university studies, and clinical studies show across the board for most of us, I think it's 100% for most of us, soy causes widespread inflammation. Legumes, which are your beans, and also peanuts. Peanuts are not nuts. Peanuts are legumes, cause widespread inflammation. The gluten and the lectin. Gluten we know is in wheat. Lectin would be in the legumes, causes widespread inflammation. Stress. Welcome to 2020. From like the beginning of the year, maybe after the third or fourth day, it's just been one stressor after another stressor. Causes inflammation. And by the way, that reduces our ability to fight off diseases, viruses. Our immune system goes down with widespread inflammation. Sugars will do that. We have an easy source of sugars with our drinks, whether it's soda pops, coffees with the sugars that we add to it, not coffee alone, but when we're adding the sugars to it, and the sports drinks are known to have the sugars that are weakening the lining of our intestines. And this is where we're seeing that inflammation, not only in the intestines, but the whole body inflammation. So I wanted you guys to see this and have an understanding. How is it that my body is able to lose so many inches in weight so quickly over the last 14 days, where I haven't been able to do that in the last 6 months, for some of us in the last 5 to 10 years. And I always love hearing those testimonies. Again, thank you for sharing. So this is a big one. This is where gut health is key. When we can impact positively our gut, the effect is shown in the rest of the body. And there's the adverse side. When I negatively impact my gut, it's going to cause widespread breakdown of my body.
Do green beans count for that too?
Yeah. So it's, and you'll know, especially if you're losing the inflammation, you consume it, and you have that inflammation, it immediately will say that. So for instance, I would eat beans practically every day of my life. In case you're wondering, the name Esteban, Latino boy, beans and rice and chicken was part of my daily. When I was around 27, 28, I started noticing an allergy against beans. But good question on that, Reggie. Thank you guys for joining here. I see more people now. So I wanted to give you a visual on what is gut health, what is inflammation, what is leaky gut, how does that impact who I am now, and how is it that whether you're following the gut-centric meal plan, how is it that your body physically changed, or if you're hearing somebody else following the gut-centric plan, how is it that their body has changed so much? And we saw it in here. We've seen a couple of people that are 10 pounds or more within the first 14 days. That's ridiculous. In a great, fantastic way. And when so many of us are doing it, it shows that, yes, it's physically possible. No, it's not water weight, because if anybody did the liquid blood sugar detox, you probably drank more in those 72 hours than you have your entire life, except maybe when you were 20 or 21 years old in college, drinking something else besides water. And I think another testimony, Morgan shared some stuff. Thank you for sharing, Morgan. That was really cool, hitting a milestone. So I'm going to go into the mindset coaching for this week, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. So the I can't versus I don't, where I typically hear in this is I can't do it without my soda or pop, depending what part of the country you're from. I can't. Or, mijo, I can't do it with my beans and rice. I can't do it. So that's my Latin side coming out. So can we? Yes. I choose not to. So I don't, because I don't feel like giving it up. So it's really taking ownership of our decision. So that's my invitation. When you catch yourself, I can't. Oh, we got a blood sugar liquid coming up. I can't do that. Take ownership of your decision. Take ownership of your action, and openly choose, I don't want to, because. Let's take ownership on, do I have some sort of an addiction to the sugar? Sugar has been scientifically proven to be 8 times more addictive than cocaine. I haven't done cocaine, but people that have come across that have done some of those drugs don't say that, oh, it tasted awful or whatever. So it's addictive for a reason, because people like it. That's sugar. So we can be completely addicted to certain foods and sugars. So the invitation, when you catch yourself saying, I can't, shift it to, I don't want to, because, and own it. Completely own your decision and own the action that follows with that. That's where I'm at today. I'm going to mute it for me. And here's where you guys get to ask some questions and share some wins. Actually, that's my second portion. Share the wins. The more we celebrate, so I'm going to go into, I'm searching my phone here. What is it? We got Instagram. That's my wife posting her little puppy stuff. And we've got Facebook. So the more that we have the likes, the more we share, it's addictive. We want to do it over and over and over and over and over. So a second invitation is celebrate all your wins. Get on the private Facebook page get with your accountability buddy and share and celebrate your wins, because we're more likely to duplicate a behavior that we celebrate. You can celebrate something that's destructive for you, which a lot of us have done in the past. That erases today. So let's celebrate the wins and reinforce the subconscious to continue that behavior. On that note, I think Olivia's up.
So I have 5 questions, so I can go all at once or do one and then have someone else go. It's up to you. But my first question is, can I have sparkling water?
You can have whatever you want, Olivia. If you want weaker bones, drink sparkling water. If you want to increase the density of your bones, don't drink sparkling water on a regular basis.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. My second question is, I know you tell us not to look ahead in the menu plan, but I am someone who has to go grocery shopping like once a week for my children. So I had to look to make sure I knew what I was getting. But for day 13, you have like a super green like smoothie on there. And I wasn't sure, is that like a specific brand that you wanted us to be getting, or are we making that?
That would be the same as what you did the first few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on that note, little preface to the email coming out. Week 3, we're on week 3. Week 4, you guys get to create that. So you're following the macros and the calories from the .fit portal. If you wanted an idea on the gut-centric, save, log in what you did these 14 days and save it so you can duplicate that and do the paleo list. That's foreshadowing. So when you look for day 15, Olivia, you ain't going to find it. You get to create it.
My next question is, so I am someone, especially traveling and working all day, snack-wise, am I allowed to throw in like another protein shake in the middle of my day, or am I allowed to like just take more servings of like whatever I'm eating that day, so I'm not snacking on like chips or fries that I normally would?
But with the mindset, Olivia's a rule follower, and she likes to ask for permission, and then she'll do it. So that's cute. You get to do whatever you want. So anybody here wondering if they have to follow certain rules? No. You came up with some great options. You came up with, do I get to add an additional shake? If you find it supportive, absolutely 100% yes. Similar to what you experienced the first 3 days of the custom meal plan. If you're hungry, have more of the nutrient-dense foods. So if I have an option of a shake or a bag of chips, the shake is going to be more supportive than the bag of chips. So good point with that one. Is that question number 3 or number 4?
Hey, sorry. I lost Wi-Fi for a minute.
I just answered your question. Oh, my goodness. All right. Do you want to go to question number 4? I said yes. You get to do a shake.
I can't hear anyone now.
All right. Can you hear me now? We're going to leave Olivia, and we're going to come back. Who's next?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Olivia, we're going to come back to you, though, till you get perfect Wi-Fi.
Okay. I still can't hear anyone. I got out of the car and it messed the whole thing up. So now I'm done with questions.
Esteban, it's Alex.
Hey, Alex.
Hi, I have a question and a win to share. So, actually a really big one. So, my question is in regards to the meals. Like, I need like a physical paper, and some of them you have the ability to download and print them out, and some of them you don't. Because, like, I got to carry it with me because I am also a rule follower, because you don't know anything about that. And I got to have it in my hand. I'm struggling because I only have, like, one day here and another day here. So can you support me with that?
What I know that's worked for some people, it's saved as a PDF. So that's
but it's not, all of them are not available as a PDF to download.
Okay. So
Only a few of them are.
I'll go back in to ensure that on my side where it says downloadable is clicked.
Okay.
And then what I know that has worked for some individuals is they'll do a screenshot and then print a screenshot. Rule
Okay.
follow. Good for you though. What's your win? What's your win?
So, my quick backstory, I had bariatric surgery 4 years ago. I gained some weight, want to get back on track. Esteban is my love and is supporting me with that. I have a lot of experience with Whole30 and gut-centric health. And so I was terrified to do the cleanse, the liquid day, because last time I was able to actually stick to liquids for a full amount of time was a full 8 weeks when I had bariatric surgery, and I hated it so much that I just mentally was never able to do it. So I did my entire 3 days in complete excellence, and on top of all of those 3 days in excellence, I am so freaking proud of myself because I drove down to Houston. I saw my grandmother, who I haven't seen in over 3 years, and all of my aunts and uncles and an Italian family, and I said no, and they supported me, and it was I did it, and I'm so freaking proud of myself that I never thought I would be able to tell my grandmother no, and she was 100% supportive, and it was just, I'm really proud of myself that I did it. So that's my win for this week.
Good for you, Alex. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. So you're paving the way for us that we can actually stand for our self-worth. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Who's next? Hannah, you're close. Your hand's twitching.
I wasn't going to unmute or anything. I mean, I guess I kind of have a win for myself, but I don't think everybody would consider it a win. But
hold on, you get to stop right there. You get to acknowledge your win without devaluing any of it.
I'm proud of it because
Good.
I haven't been able to do it. But I would say that for the last 6 years of me adamantly working out, I've always been in the routine of drinking my pre-workout because my husband does beforehand and then going to the gym. So it was just part of my routine. If I didn't feel that jitter, I didn't feel like I was getting a workout in. So for the first 4 or 5 days of doing the cleanse, it was rough. I was not into my workouts. I would stop halfway through and not really have the motivation to do it because I just felt like I didn't have that extra oomph that I needed. But then yesterday and the day before that, I had killer workouts and I didn't even think about pre-workout. So I was super proud of myself. But I mean, I kind of still miss it because it tastes good, but I know that I don't need it now.
Good for you. That's awesome. So energy's boom, there. That's awesome.
I'm usually a high energy person anyways. It's just, I feel like I used to need the pre-workout. Now I just kind of want it. And
so there's a big difference there. So it's not your choice versus us feeling victim to or crippled to. And then Alex, I can't remember how to finish this. Energy is a, can you help me out with that?
Energy is a choice.
It is. So for those of us that are shut up, energy is not a choice. When I'm tired, I'm tired. Think of the times that it's 1 a.m. and we're woo, buddy, woo. You've had 2 hours or 3 hours of sleep. We get to choose. When we wake up in the morning, it's oh, I'm so tired. It's dude, you just woke up. Energy is a choice. That's not to say that eventually the body will say, bro, you need to recharge. So that's awesome, Hannah, that you've acknowledged that it's not a choice. So when you want that pre-workout, it's because you want it versus I feel it, I need it. So awesome. Other questions? Olivia, I don't know if we answered all your questions wherever she's at.
Esteban, I have another question.
I'm over the screen here. Hi, Alex.
Hi. You're killing me here. I had a question about cooking. You know, I love to cook, and with all my experience with Whole30 and stuff, as long as my meals kind of still follow the template and without like the added fats and stuff that I'm used to with Whole30, I mean, is it in general most of the time okay to use like a Whole30 recipe or like a marinade or that kind of thing?
Where's Olivia? Olivia, what's the answer to that?
What was the question? Sorry.
Can she eat whatever she wants?
Yes.
That's not my question. That's not my question, Esteban.
You want more detail.
Clarify, I want to stay within the rules because I want to be successful and complete in excellence. Therefore, what I'm asking is, if I do this, would it be in line with the guidelines to still support me in getting the results that I'm looking to get?
What do you think, Alex?
I think it's likely yes.
Very good. So in compliance, you're looking at where you started with a .fit program, then you've got that little slide bar, and that's your progress chart. So this is why we get to weigh ourselves daily. Am I within that slide bar? And if I'm above it, what's my feedback? And if I'm below it, I am ahead of the scheduled timeline. So with your Whole30, I think, is a phenomenal program. So you get to identify, am I hungry or where's my energy? So we compare ourselves to Hannah. Do I feel that I need something, or did I realize that I want something? In your case, it may be the fats. By cutting back some of the fats, you may identify, you know what, my energy's gone up, or when you remove the fats, you may feel that your energy's gone down. And that's why I love logging into food, seeing the pie chart, and if need be, journal. Especially with you, I mean, because you've got a strong background with the Whole30. So you get to identify now, how's my body responding and reacting to these foods that I'm making? Am I staying within the caloric requirements of .fit, or am I going slightly above it? But good question. I mean, the answer, yes, absolutely. Play and be creative with food, and show your pictures, because we all get ideas from it. Thank you.
That was going to be my next question. Was it, as long as it's within the guidelines, I'll share my pictures if that's okay with you, because I have a shit ton of Whole30 recipes.
I wonder how many numbers that is.
A shit ton.
That's a big number. Next question.
Hey, it's Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
For tomorrow, because I don't have salmon in the house, because I try to make the stuff that way my kids can eat it too. I know, how disappointing. Am I able to pick like another meat off that paleo list you gave us from, or is there something specific that you want us to be like substituting for that?
Hannah, what do you think?
What do I think about the substitution?
Yeah, is she allowed to substitute or not? Because I know she's a rule follower.
Follower as well, and I helped her create these questions because she was at my club today. But I would say that as long as it's on like the substitution list, that it should be within guidelines.
I agree.
And it was.
It's awesome.
I had to double check.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing with the salmon, and I responded to a post earlier today, phenomenal with the omega-3s. So if we're not consuming that within a weekly basis, and the omega-3s are anti-inflammatory, there's multiple purposes and benefits of the omega-3. So if I choose not to consume salmon, let's make sure that you've ordered your super omega-3s. The ones from .fit are high grade. It's got the Alaska sourcing. So just supplement with that daily. And some people just don't like fish. I get it. Got it. So good question. I mean, you're not the only one thinking that. Good question.
I say, well, I like fish. I just am not eating it right now.
Okay.
Because I don't have it.
Gotcha. That's fair. That's fair. Who else is thinking of something and hoping that Olivia or Alex asks it, but in case they don't, you get to ask it? Reggie's thinking. I see him. He's twitching.
Yeah. Something from the last Zoom call we had. So, like, 'cause he had up a chart on calories and everything. So, like, with my diet, I do, like, 1,300 calories a day, which is, especially for my workouts, that's a huge deficit, because I burn pretty much close to 5 pounds a week doing that. So is that maybe too much, or?
So you're saying right now your deficit's 1,500? No, you're consuming 1,500.
13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
How
13.
much are you burning?
It varies by day, but at least like 4,000
Okay.
calories a
So
day.
you've got a big gap. So then the question would be, is it physically possible? Yes. In some medical and clinical cases, we'll create that. In reality shows, without a doubt. When I was doing reality shows, I would have them burn minimum of 7,000. We were guiding them. I wouldn't have anybody do anything to burn 7,000 calories and consuming around 1,200 calories. So the question to you is how do you feel? Like, where's your energy?
It's good because I did this about a year ago, and that's when I lost about 5 pounds a week. But yeah, I burned 7,000 earlier in the year, and I was like dead then. So pretty much.
Let that be your gauge, Reggie. Obviously, log in your foods. You digged in deeper with that today on how to log into foods and keep the favorites and repeat the meals. If you notice that your energy is down, then we get to identify what am I craving? Am I craving more fat? So you get to add more of the natural fats, or am I craving more sugar? So we'll add additional fruits into that. This is where the journaling really comes in handy. I mean, that's an excellent question because many times we make decisions based on data that we see in front of the screen versus being sensitive to how my body's feeling. There's going to be some days where you'll have zero change as far as caloric expenditure and consumption, and you just feel like junk. And other days you'll have a deficit and you'll be like, Hannah, my energy's up. Yeah, I feel great. Hannah, that's your voice inside my head in case you were wondering. There you are. So yeah, Reggie, just kind of be sensitive to your body and find out what does my body crave, especially when I'm working out. So great question. So we'll take our analytical hat off and just be very, very receptive to how you're feeling that day. That was good. Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll go about 5 more minutes, guys, and then I'll respect everybody to enjoy the sunshine and be outdoors, unless you're Sarah and she's already hanging out outside. Good for you. Any other questions that you guys texted to Olivia? Morgan, are you going to share today? Because you had a crazy wow that you posted. She's staying quiet. She's like, shh. Okay, 4 minutes.
She just texted that she had connection issues, so let me message her and ask her if she has any questions if she's not able to connect.
Okay. Teamwork. All right, so while a few of you guys are getting bold and brave to ask the next question, my request. Ooh, I like playing this game. Hold on. Unblock your face for a second. We'll play this game. Alex knows this one. Because I'm going to ask if you guys will honor my request. My request, thank you guys. You guys are pretty faces. I like this. My request is there's a multitude of individuals that decided that they wanted to transform their bodies. So they waved their hands and they enrolled into this IMPOWER Transformation program. Some lasted a whole 1 day. Some have lasted 14. Are we at 14 days? 14 days. Congratulations. And others said, I can't. That's what we're talking about today. So my request is if you could grab the hand of those individuals, some are friends, some are colleagues, some are acquaintances, and support them. Guide them to come back in for them to do this for themselves. Because ultimately, that's really why we're doing this. We're doing this so I can better myself, so I can be a better husband to my wife that's on the other side of that cool door, so I could be a better coworker. So my request is grab the hand of those colleagues, friends, family members that you knew that are doing this and support them into stepping back into their lane, empowering them. Would you guys honor my request? Oh, look at that. I love those nods going up and down. Thank you so much. Okay, if you want to play hide and seek, you guys can hide your faces again. And we've got 2 more minutes for the last few questions. Olivia,
Okay, Esteban.
thanks for blinding us, Olivia. Appreciate it.
It's Alex again. So Daryl, my husband, did the 3-day at my house we call it the
Sugar,
Esteban
a cabbage or blood sugar detox?
cabbage. We call it Esteban salad, so my girls call it because they love it. Anyway, he did the 3-day cabbage salad with me, and he lost 9 pounds in 3 days, and I wanted to punch him in the throat.
In a loving way, though, right?
No.
No. If you could ever get him on here, her husband is like Mr. GQ. If I were to have a man crush, it's with Daryl. It's the way it
He
is.
has his first modeling session this week.
Of course he does. It's just Mr. Handsome. That's good for him. Tell him thank you for like texting me and sharing. Cool. And that's solid food. Look at that. Oh, look at how handsome he is and those 2 beautiful girls. Look at that. All right. We'll do one more. Last one. Who's going to be it? Who's finishing today? I like how a couple of you guys are like, could it be me? Could it be me? Could it be me? Could it be me? It could be you. Most definitely could be you. 30 seconds. Your question could change the life of somebody. You're going to shift the trajectory of their progress. And it's really going to impact how they impact other people's lives. That's how valuable your question is. Because whose voice matters?
Esteban,
There we go.
I've been having trouble rising early. So I've only been getting like 3 of the meals in.
I'm waiting for the question, though.
Yeah, turn it up. I can't hear you. Whoops. Sorry. My phone's kind of...
They're sitting next to each other, and I'm seeing the cameras like that. So cool. All right, so we've got 3 meals. What's the question?
How can when I'm not working, I'm not really an early morning person.
Got it. So what I'm hearing you say is, if I sleep in, how can I get the 4th or 5th meal in? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yes.
So here's what you get to do. Number 1, you get to do whatever you want. Number 2,
Right.
following a structured program from the time that you wake up. So on the sheet, I may say 6 a.m. There may be a time on there, but it's really when you wake up. It's truly when you wake up. You'll want to consume within 30 minutes of waking up, so you're adding nutrients into it. And that's typically my lean meal replacement, or my cold pressed juice is typically an early one. You'll see sometimes eggs. You get to create whatever you want, but that's an easy one. It's I wake up, I go here. There's a meal. And then within every 3 to 4 hours until you fall asleep. If you happen to fall asleep after 3 meals, that was it for the day. You're done. So just go by your I wake up time, I go to bed time, and let me fuel my muscle. Because you're going to the Anytime Fitness gym, you're doing your resistance training, you're doing the training with the trainers. So you need the energy to fuel that, and you need the energy to go through protein synthesis, which is increasing your metabolism. We're growing the muscles, oxidize fat. If you're asleep, you fall asleep. No reason to set an alarm. Just go to sleep, and when you wake up the following day, do it all over again. Does that answer your question?
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Cool. Thank you for asking. Awesome. Thank you, guys. This was fun. I get jazzed up. I get energized seeing your faces, having all the awesome questions. Any questions you guys have, make sure to text Alex or Olivia so they can go ahead and ask that here next week. And keep posting on the Facebook. You guys are doing an excellent job of supporting each other, and it's really about building the community. And so far, you guys are doing an excellent job on building and supporting each other, showing multiple options on different meals, how to cook things, how to season them. And then my request is lean to your family, your friends, colleagues that, you know, came on board with this transformation, and guide them back in. Guide them back in. Thank you guys for being on.
Thank you.
See you next Monday.
Yeah.